Here we go. Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome back to my Fluid Art channel, and thank you so much for being here. So I'm doing a Dutch pour today, sort of a chaos style Dutch pour, very free form. And this is based off an experience that my family and I had a couple weeks ago. We went indoor skydiving. It was at a place called iFly, and they have this big indoor wind tunnel. And you go in and you get to experience what it's like to be in free fall, because the winds are coming at you at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. And so you're just kind of floating there in the wind. It was a really cool, a very fun experience. And today I want to make a painting inspired by that wind. And then I'm going to take some pictures from our actual skydiving and sort of edit them onto the painting. It'll end up being just a digital image, not the actual painting, because I was thinking about it and I think it would be too hard to actually like decoupage the pictures of us flying onto the canvas. But I will use this as the background art that then I will layer the pictures of us skydiving on top of. So it should be really fun. I'm using paints mixed with water today, and they're all kind of sky themed. So I have white, I have this, I think this is sky blue mixed with white. A lot of these were leftover cups that I maybe added or tweaked to get the right colors, so I'm not completely sure of all of them. I have some Pearlessence. This is an ocean green. This is just a sort of a blue mix, which is similar to this, but it's a little more on the purple side. And then I have some metallic teal, metallic blue, and metallic silver. So I think that'll give a lot of shimmer and contrast and make a really interesting piece. Let's make a painting. I have a lot of white paint because I want this to be very airy and light. So I'm going to put some white down kind of along the edges here, just to make sure that my corners get covered. And then the other colors I'll layer on and they'll get blown out beautifully. But we're just going to start with some white to make sure that the whole canvas is covered. Now that the edges are covered, I'm going to start putting the other colors down. And rather than putting them out kind of in rays, because then it'll be lines, I want to put it out sort of in spirals. That way, as it blows out, the colors will all cross over each other. So it's not going to be centered right in the middle. It's going to be centered kind of here, like the bottom 2/3. So that, yeah, I don't want it right in the middle. I want it to feel very much like waves of energy going up, because that's what the wind was. It was that vertical flow. So perhaps we'll put some of the darker metallics. I don't know. These darker metallics, I don't want a lot of them, but I do want some. Oops, that was a large splotch. That'll be all right. Pearlessence all over the place. And then with the silver as well. Okay, now for the fine tuning of where do we want the placement. I think I want the blue to be the center color that gets sort of blown out over everything else. But we'll put some of the darker blue and more of the white here as well, just to make sure we have lots of paint in the middle, and then right from the beginning the colors aren't struggling to flow. By the time we get up here, I'm sure we'll have plenty, but you don't want the paint to have to fight to cross the canvas. Oh, I like that. I like that the lighter greenish blue is further out towards the ends. Little hints of the metallics. Yeah, I like this a lot. And I have plenty of most of the colors so that if I'm not liking a particular section, I can add something and then blow it out again, but so far I like it. So I've got my little hairdryer here. I think probably I'll start by kind of blowing this way, down and to the sides, and then I'll begin blowing upwards from this pocket. Let's do this. I just wanted to take a look at the color. It's really pretty. I love the blend. I liked how putting it sort of in circles like that is making lots of crossover. I think perhaps before I blow it out this way, I'm going to add just a couple drops of white here in the blue. And perhaps just blend it a bit so that as it blows out, it's a little bit not one solid color. I don't know what that'll do. So now I'm gonna just start blowing sort of up and swoop this around so that it's going upwards. Here we go. Oh, wow. This is so beautiful. So I'm getting some little pockets of lacing where the white has crossed over another color. It's especially, I think, some of this green, the ocean green, which is, it's actually a blend. The ocean green is a Master's Touch acrylic paint, which has a lighter density. So I think when the white crossed over that, it's making some of those cells. But I'm getting them from some other colors too, so it isn't just the ocean green. All right, so now I just have to look at this and see if there's any sections that I want to tweak. Like right here, it kind of bulges, and I don't love that, so I'm going to try to blow through that. Yeah, that's better. So it's definitely not one flow that's all going upwards. It's going out in all directions, which I think I like just fine. I'm trying to decide if it should be more vertical. But I really like how it looks here at the bottom, kind of swooping and curving upwards. These places where I had blended the other colors in. Just want to do a little something with that. So I'm not sure that I'm wild about this green color, honestly. I love it as a whole. I'm not sure about the green. Like if this was water, perfect. But because it's air, I'm just like, is it quite right? But I'm seeing silver down here. Like, I see so much that's wonderful. I just wish I didn't have quite so much of that ocean green, or that it was mixed with blue or something. The problem is, if I was going to try to get rid of the green, I'd have to completely, like, pour more colors and then blow it all off. And I'd have to redo pretty much everything. And I don't want to redo everything. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to come check on it in about an hour. Because if the green cells continue to grow and completely take over, maybe I don't want that. Maybe I'll scrape the green and add some more of the white and the other blues and blow it out again. And if that's what happens, then I'll show you that process. But for now, let me give it a quick torch and then give you a close-up. Okay, this is so pretty. I love the whimsical way that each color blends into the next. And those pockets of cells are so pretty. I like how we have sort of the rippling lines of energy. It feels very dynamic, very moving, like wind. So up here's the greener section, which I love the color. We'll see whether I continue to love it or whether I decide it doesn't work for this piece. But I love this. So beautiful and energetic. I had to tweak this corner just a little bit off camera. And then here in the center, I pulled just some wisps of color in so that it didn't just look like a big blue hole right in the middle. But I think this is super cool. I will let this dry and then show you how I do the next part. Okay, it's dry. So this dried nicely. Looks beautiful. There's this one section up here. Do you see where that kind of went squiggly? I think that's just because I had one area with more paint and one area with less paint. And so as it sat, it kind of compressed the area with less. Other than that area though, it dried perfectly. No issues with warping or stretching. The green cells didn't grow and get out of hand. They stayed nice and small and really cute. So we've got some bits of the metallic. You can see some of the silver there shining in those little pockets, and then coming up here, some more shiny areas. So now that you've seen the finished painting, let me show you the finished piece of digital art. Look at this, guys. Isn't it cool? I love this. So what I did was I took the pictures from our skydiving trip, and then I cut us out using the application Procreate on my iPad Pro. Then I layered us onto the background, which is so beautiful. The painting itself is a little bit more saturated, and I thought it looked too bright. So I kind of lightened it up and desaturated it a little bit so that the colors wouldn't be quite so bright. And then it matched the tone of the skydiving pictures a little bit better. And so overall, I just think it looks so cool. Thank you guys for joining me for this really fun skydiving inspired pour. I hope it inspired you to try something new. Let me know, have you ever tried indoor skydiving? And I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!